And it's such an honor and a privilege for us to be with you this morning and joined via stream out to Warne, Nell, talking about the biggest schoolboy rugby derby in the world. Warne, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for having me this morning.
Great pleasure. So, Warne, Paarl is normally the place that I often think of. It's so quaint, it's quiet, but this whole week, there's two sides, two camps, so to speak. And tell us about the rich history of this rugby derby.
Yeah, so as you said, I mean, Paarl is a bit of a sleepy town, very quaint, known for its wine farms. But the first week of August, the whole town just wakes up to this, obviously, the interschools between Paarl Gimnasium and Paarl Boys High. You either are voting for Paarl Gym or you're rooting for Paarl Boys. There's no in between, really. So if you come to town in the week, you'll see there are banners up and every house is decorated with the colors of the school. And I mean, this interschools or the derby's been going on for over 100 years. So I mean, there is just this rich history between the schools, and not to mention the numerous springbucks that each school has produced.
Yeah. It's amazing with regard to that, and I absolutely love it. Now, you were the head boy 10 years ago at Paarl Boys, and big ups with regard to that. So this weekend is also a big weekend for you and the rest of your class. And just love the fact that, you know, in terms of that rich history, that it carries on and that there's a sense of pride. And I think that's the one thing that really encourages us to live a better life, eh? So in terms of what you've seen and experienced in Paarl this week, just tell us a little bit about that and the 20 to 30,000 spectators that are expected this weekend in Paarl for this event.
Yeah, so you make me feel a bit old. Like you said, having my 10-year reunion this year. I mean, I was at an old boys rugby game on Wednesday evening, and there must have been easily, I reckon, 5,000 people there. So generally what happens during the week is numerous reunion groups get together, and it's yearly. People know that over interschools, reunion groups get together and we go and attend the big game. And like you said, I mean, they're attending, expecting between 20 to 30,000 people to pack into Faure Street to watch a schoolboy game, which sounds a bit ludicrous if you're from the outside world.
Yeah, it really does. It really does sound a bit crazy. But again, the intensity of this game has been well noted. I mean, a winning margin of only 5 points in over 100 games. I mean, it is crazy to think about that stat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a saying, it doesn't matter what your form was like through the year. Come Saturday of interschools, the form book gets thrown out the window, and it's just it's a whole different ball game. And I mean, I guess speaking to old classmates and some guys who've gone professional, they say this schoolboy match, it kind of rivals the intensity of what you expect at a Super Rugby level, at a URC level, maybe even international level, in terms of it's the first taste that these boys have playing on a stage that is this big.
That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And as we wrap up, I just think, you know, in terms of those who've never experienced it, this is the opportunity. And don't just go for the game, go early because the crowds and the numbers, but also go and drive through the town and you'll see the different colors and the different activities. And maybe rugby is not your thing. That's okay. There's hockey, there's netball, there are other activities as well. And it's just a phenomenal weekend and something that we in the Western Cape really do get. So we get it right, hey?
No, for sure. And I think you highlighted something important. I mean, the rugby is the main event, but there is something for everyone. You have from a under 19J rugby team to under 19A rugby team. You have Paarl Girls Eye playing against Paarl Gym as well, hockey, netball. Earlier this week, they had table tennis, they played golf. I mean, they really, really do play everything. So just in terms of the games going on, today, the majority of the teams will play. So the majority of the hockey teams, the rugby teams play, and that is all at Paarl Gimnasium this afternoon. Then the Saturday is reserved just for the 16A hockey team, the second team hockey, first team hockey, which is at Paarl Gimnasium. And then the rugby's at Faure Street from 12 o'clock, if I have it correct. So then you'll see the under 15A team play the the 16, 18 play, the second team play, and then the first team plays at 4 o'clock. But like you said, I mean, there really is something for everyone. I encourage everyone out there, like, if you have the opportunity, come to Paarl, just experience Interschools. It is a vibe. It is something, yeah, it just sounds special to be part of and to watch as well.
It really is. And you might be watching future Springbok rugby players in action, literally, because that's the
Indeed.
list of Springbok players that have come from those two schools over the years. Definitely notable. Currently, Thomas du Toit, current Springbok prop. I mean, he was in your class, eh?
He was in my class. He was the biggest schoolboy you've ever seen in your life. It's no surprise he's made it to where he did.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Warne, thank you so much for sharing with us. Have a wonderful day of golf and a great sporting weekend. It's been great chatting to you, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks for having me. All the best.
Pleasure. All the best too.